Okay, so if you missed number 3, you need to pause it and write down everything on this page. If you missed number 4, you can go ahead and fast forward until you see a 4 up here. And those will be the notes for number 4. So, number 3, pause it, write this down. Y equals mx plus b. Here's what the m does. First, m is slope. Let's write that down. M is slope. B is your y-intercept. So the bigger m is, the steeper the line. So like if I had y equals 8x and y equals 2x, 8x is going to be steeper because the 8 is bigger than the 2. So bigger the m, the steeper the line. Also, another thing I want you to write, the negatives don't matter. So like if you had y equals negative 3x and y equals 2x, even though this is a negative 3, it's still going to be steeper. We don't care about the negatives. 3 is bigger than 2, so negative 3 is going to be steeper, and this one's going to be less steep. B is going to shift it up or down. If it's a plus, it's going to shift it up. If it's a minus, it's going to shift it down. And making m negative reflects the graph across the y-axis. So, knowing that, if you missed number 3, I want you to write the 4 questions down and write out the answer for 1 and 2. So number 1, I want you to write down the question and write out the whole answer for number 1. Same thing for 2, write down the whole question and write down the answer. For 3 and 4, you can just write the question and tell me if the answer is A, B, C, or D. So I want you to try these 4 problems. So pause it, do these 4 problems. Also, if you missed number 3, write down what you think the correct answer should have been and why you missed it. Number 4, pause it. If you missed number 4, I want you to write down the notes. Alright, so domain are your x's, and they go left to right. Range are your y's, and they go down to up. So, let's do some examples. Domain goes left to right. So left, this arrow means it's going to keep going. Right, this arrow means it's going to keep going. So if you remember, when it goes forever both ways, that means it's all real numbers. So your domain's all real numbers because it goes left and right forever. Range goes down to up. So down, that arrow is going to keep going down forever. Up, that arrow is going to keep going up forever. So your range is also going to be all real numbers. A trick. I love straight lines. Straight lines are always going to be all reals forever for domain and range because they're going to go up and down forever and left and right forever. So you need to have this graph drawn. It doesn't have to be to scale, but I want you to draw a straight line. I want you to put the domains all real numbers and the range is all real numbers. Number 2, I want you to kind of sketch this graph. All right, let's do domain. Domain, it's going to go left. That arrow means it's going to keep going left. Same thing to the right. It's going to keep going right. So your domain is all real numbers. Your range is not going to be, because yes, it goes up forever, but it doesn't go down forever. So it goes down to -6. And it touches. If it touches, you should have that line. Range is y. And it's going to go up forever. And if it only is forever one direction, we put infinity. You could also have it written as y's are, it goes down to -6, and then it goes up, right? So you could also put y is greater than. And since it touches, it's going to be equal to -6. So you should have all that written down for example 2. Example 3, again, kind of sketch the graph. Domain, left, it's going to go forever. Right, it's going to go forever. So your domain is all real numbers. Range is not, because it doesn't go up forever. So it goes down forever. So we call that negative infinity. Range is y. And then it goes up and it touches at 0. So I'm going to put 0. You could also put that y, since it goes down, is less than or equal to 0. You could put both of those answers. All right, here with the dots, you don't have to try and draw this graph. You can just write what the domain is. So domain are your x's. So we're just going to write every number it touches at. Okay, so with dots, we're going to list out the numbers. It touches at 1 and 2. This dot touches at 3. This dot touches at 4. This dot touches at 5. This dot touches at 6. So domain were my x's. Range is going to be my y's. And I'm just going to go from down to up. So this one touches at -1. This one is on 0. This one is at +1. This one is at 2. This one is at 3. And the last one is up here at 6. So that's the domain and range. If you're given dots, you're going to list out the numbers. So if you missed number 4, I want you to answer the following 4 questions. You don't have to write the question and draw the graphs. You just tell me number 1 and if it's A, B, C, or D. 2 if it's A, B, C, or D. So pause it, do 1 and 2. Here's 3 and 4. 3 and 4, I need you to actually tell me what the domain and range are. So you're going to need to write it out. If you're not sure, this is at 3. If you're not sure, and it should have arrows, it's going to keep going. And then number 4 is right there. Also, if you missed number 4, I want you to write down what you think the correct answer should have been and why you missed it.